Printmaking is the art of transferring an image from one surface onto another. There are many different types of printmaking. For this lesson, we are going to use the relief method. In the relief method of printmaking, artists carve onto a surface and the remaining space can be printed. We are going to use scratch foam for this process. Scratch foam is styrofoam that is flat and pre-cut to a size. It is the same styrofoam that is found on to-go containers, meat packages, or vegetable packages. When you draw or press a design into the scratch foam, that area of your design will stay white when it is printed, and the area you do not draw on will become a color when you print. For this lesson, the materials we will be using will be your sketchbook, a piece of scratch foam, a pencil and a ballpoint pen, a place to make your sketch to plan your design for your image, water-based markers, and paper towel. The first thing you will do is to create a sketch on your planning sheet. This sketch will become the image that you print on your scratch foam. Once you are satisfied with your design, you're ready to transfer the design onto your scratch foam. To transfer your design onto your scratch foam, you need your design, your scratch foam, and a ballpoint pen. You are going to set your scratch foam behind your design so that it lines up with the edges. And you are going to trace your design by pressing firmly through the paper, and the pressure from your pen will press that design onto the surface of your scratch foam. You cannot erase anything once it is pressed onto the foam, so be mindful as you are tracing that you're only tracing areas that you would like to show up on your print. Make sure that you are pressing firmly so that your pressure from your pen will go through and be visible on the foam behind. Once all of your lines have been traced, you can remove your scratch foam from behind your sketch paper you should be able to see the impression from your traced design. Now you need to make sure that all of those indentations are established and well pressed onto the foam. The way you will do that is to go back over the lines with your pen one more time. This is also the time where you may add extra details to add texture to your image if you would like. When you are happy with your design, you are ready to start printing. When you are ready to start printing your relief design, you will need your sketchbook, paper towels, your scratch foam, water-based markers, and I like to have a placemat, an extra paper underneath my scratch foam, so when I'm using the markers, if I go over the edge, it's okay. It doesn't get on my tabletop, it just gets on my placemat paper. You will begin by coloring your foam however you intend for your print to look. The marker will not fully dry on the surface of your scratch foam, so it's important once you have put marker on an area, try not to touch that area. If I pressed onto this right now, the marker from the robin's body would press onto my finger and it would not be on the scratch foam anymore. So just be careful to remember that the marker will not dry all the way on your scratch foam. You also can mix colors as you are adding your marker by placing colors that you would like to mix right next to each other. Using multiple colors near each other adds depth and interest to your final piece, so consider using more than one color. When your foam scratch plate is fully colored, you are ready to print. To print your scratch foam plate, you need your sketchbook, a damp paper towel. I have run a paper towel under the sink, then I squeezed it out in the sink, so I now have a damp paper towel. Notice there's no water dripping from my paper towel. You also need your scratch art plate. You are going to take your damp paper towel and press it into the space of your sketchbook paper that you would like to place your print. I'm just going back and forth a little bit to make sure that section of my paper is damp, not soaking wet, just damp. Then you will lift your scratch foam plate, flip it over, and starting on one side, press it down onto the area of your paper that you have just dampened with the paper towel. Now, you need to use the soft part of your hand to rub the back of your scratch plate to press the marker onto your damp paper. Do not shift your foam at this time. Make sure you have one hand holding it down as your other hand presses on the back. When you feel like you have rubbed the back enough to press the image onto your paper, peel one corner while still holding it down to see if the color is vibrant. If your color is showing, you're probably ready. If it's a little spotty or it did not show up very well, then you might need to press a little more. When you feel like it's ready, you will remove your scratch art plate to show your image below. As you can see, the image is a mirror of itself. It flips over. So everything that you carve is in reverse on your image, on your print. This can be printed again. So using the damp paper towel, clean the surface of your foam plate, removing any marker that is still visible. And you may repeat the process. This foam can be printed many times before it is no longer usable. All I would do now is return it to my placemat, collect my markers. I can use the same colors, or I could choose different colors at this point and create an image that's the same image but with different coloring, and repeat the steps that we've just completed.